Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jay Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're thrilled to have Hady Mendez, the founder of Boldly Speaking. Hady brings over 20 years of corporate experience from companies like JP Morgan Chase, BNY Mellon, and Slack, where she served as Director of Equality. Based in Beacon, New York, Boldly Speaking, a Latina owned business founded after her layoff from Salesforce, is empowering women and people of color to thrive through DEI focused coaching, workshops, and also speaking engagements. She's also the author of the best-selling book Calladita No More, inspiring Latinas to advocate for themselves. We'll be exploring her founding story, how her business transforms professional experiences, and her vision for scaling this mission-driven venture. So with that being said, let's dive right in. Hady, welcome to Founders Future.
Hey, how are you?
I am fantastic and a pleasure to have you on the show today, Hady. So, I would love to really take us back to the beginning and start at the top for our listeners here. What specific problem in the DEI landscape really inspired you to start Boldly Speaking?
Yeah, so I would say a couple things. One is I'll say that I'm an extrovert and I love talking and like conversations like the one we're having today, that this is what gives me life. So I knew that as I was exploring like kind of what direction I was going to move in, I wanted like conversations and storytelling to be part of what I offered. But I think what kind of brought me to Boldly Speaking is my own lived experience. So being a Latina in tech and financial services for over 25 years, I found myself being the first or the few or the only in many of the rooms that I entered. And I knew that sucked to say it in layperson's terms. It sucked. It was hard. It was challenging. I felt very alone sometimes. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know where to get advice. I didn't have a lot of people advocating for me. And I personally didn't know how to advocate for myself. So there was a host of challenges that I was dealing with in corporate and that I learned how to navigate over the years. And I knew that I wanted to tap into like offer extra support to people that are like walking in my shoes, people that are either underrepresented or underestimated in some way, or that for whatever reason are getting ignored and not getting the spotlight and like the love that they deserve for the work that they're putting in.
Amazing. So, with that, there, talk to us a bit about how Boldly Speaking's offerings have evolved since you first started, Hady. From the services that you're providing to the clients that you're serving, how has that evolved to today?
Okay, so first thing that's evolved is we don't talk about DEI anymore. So I talk a lot about inclusion and belonging. I talk about being an underestimated person, and my role is to really offer support, guidance, encouragement, motivation, inspiration for people who identify in that way. So I think those things have changed. I think the other thing that has really evolved is personally for me. I think this is a mistake that a lot of founders make, a lot of new business owners make. And it's like you're trying to solve for every problem. So you're like, I could talk about that. I could talk about that. I could do this. I could speak. I could dance. What do you need me to do? I could do it all. I feel like I probably could do it all. I have a lot of experience and there's a lot of ways that I think I can show up and I have lots of talents that I bring to the table. But that doesn't, what I've discovered over time is that doesn't serve me as a business owner to do lots of things and to be focused on every one. It made a lot more sense over time, I discovered, to find a specific sort of niche, if you will, area of specialization. And I think once I was able to like for example, now I lean into empowering Latinas and women of color. As a Latina and a woman of color, you can't tell me I don't know how to do that because I've lived it. So I feel like I found my spot, and then now I'm really focused on empowering, coaching, elevating, amplifying, and I'm like finding the angles with that. But it took me a while to get there, and I feel that was a rookie mistake, and I think a lot of people make that mistake. And as I started talking to people, they're like, "Yeah, girl, don't do it that way. That's not gonna work out for you that well." So get
Love,
itchy. It's gonna
I
help
love
you.
So with that, I definitely would love to get into the nuts and bolts, especially for our listeners, so we can have some Latinas and women of color right now tuning in and are being inspired by you and want to come work with you. Really break down for us here, Javi, how you're really generating revenue today, especially around the core offer. So we know that's your real ICP is there, but what are you offering to them? I know you have the coaching, the workshops, speaking engagements. How is that structured and how you put that forward for your clients?
Yeah, so I feel like I'm supporting like my target population in two ways. I do offer services to companies. So if an organization is looking to elevate or level up their ERG leaders or their underestimated talent in any way, that is an area where I can support. I can offer workshops, I can do one-on-one coaching, I could do speaking engagements, etc. And then I think the other way that I show up is as a coach.
Mm.
So I am an ERG coach and I do work directly with ERG leaders oftentimes. Many times it's the Latinx ERG that's bringing me in, but not always. Sometimes it's the women's ERG, or it can be really like the ERG program manager that says all of our ERGs need help. They all need to figure out how to activate their members and how to work more closely with the business or things like that. So I can offer that kind of support too. So I feel like I have two distinct audiences. My services really are around empowering. I would say at a fundamental level, it's about empowering, and what that looks like depends on what they need. So it could be a workshop, it could be coaching, it could be speaking. Like I love fireside chats. I do LinkedIn live series that are, I have one called Latinas Front and Center, where I'm like centering and amplifying the voices of Latinas. I have another one for ERG leaders. So it's really about what does good look like? What could success look like? What does it look like when you take ownership and you create the impact that you really want to create in our community? And so I try to offer a little bit of that in everything that I do.
I love it. Clear as day. I can feel the passion that you have through the conversation right now. So I see why you're seeing the success here. Walk us through a bit. I mean, you just touched a bit on that LinkedIn Live series, some fireside chats. What else is working really well for you on the acquisition? How are you getting consistency and predictability with your leads to keep that pipeline full? What's working best? Are you doing ads as well? More social media? Walk us through what's working there.
Yeah. So first I will tell you that that consistency only really started to happen in the last 6 months. And I'm knocking on wood as I say that because it's taken a long time. And I hope we get a chance to talk about like the pain and the challenges because there were many. And anyway, but here I am now. I am seeing a lot more consistency. I feel like remaining authentic has been an important part of the recipe for success. So just being true to myself, not compromising, really identifying with my audience, helping being vulnerable, saying, yeah, I've been there too. That happened to me. And also, it's not like I have all the answers. Like I'm also going through it sometimes. I still go through it. And yes, I have maybe 20, 25 years of I'm further along on my journey. And I think that's what allows me to have perspective and also offer some of the lessons that I've learned. But it's not I figured it all out. Like sometimes I'm still going through it too. But I feel like remaining authentic has been important and being very transparent. That I do that. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm a creator on LinkedIn. I have about 14,000 followers on my way to 15,000. And I don't know, I think they call me like a, I don't know if it's called like a micro influencer or like a nano influencer,
Love
something
it.
that another word for tiny or small. But I've been on the platform for a while, and I think my trademark is always like honest, genuine, authentic, and also not compromising my values. I'm doing it my way. And I feel like there were a lot of people in the beginning that were like, girl, you gotta go do this, go network, go build your funnel and start reaching out, calling people, get the list, buy the list. I don't do any of that. I'm just building genuine, honest relationships, staying true to my who I am, that fortunately over time has allowed me to build a reputation and for people who value that. Like, I don't know if everybody does value that. Like I'm guessing there are some people for whom my style maybe doesn't really resonate, but I feel like the average person, the average Latina woman of color, underestimated person, they like how I come across because it feels very genuine, and I think that's important.
I love it. So, I mean, with that, obviously, there was so much there. And a big thing that I want to take away from that, especially for our listeners, is your resilience, right? As you mentioned, so many challenges, so many bumps, so many ups and downs. And then to get here where you just mentioned it's only been about 6 months since you started to see some consistency. I think that's a huge lesson for our listeners there is this isn't an easy road, right? Being a
No.
founder is not easy, and we have to be able to buckle down, really put our heads down, and have the passion and drive and fire for what you're doing. And you're always going to end up seeing that success with the consistency. So just incredible. How are you approaching the idea of scale? Hady, especially with now that you're seeing some more consistency, are you thinking about more around the ads and getting your name out there a bit more? How are you approaching the idea of scaling?
Yeah. So first, I just want to say that I've been highly adaptable. You talked about resilience and just remaining steadfast and really believing in the mission and knowing this is a need. I'm not making this up. So
Yeah,
I just have to find a way to, A, really make my message clear, get it to the right person, to the decision makers, and make it very accessible. And as I think about scale, it's an important question because you talked about my book in the beginning in your intro, but I actually haven't. I have a best-selling book that's called Awareness Put Me On that I was a contributing author to. My book, Calladita No More, hasn't come out yet. It's coming in September.
oh, beautiful.
And
Okay.
I think that's the book. I hope that's going to be what changes the game for me. That is my full hope and expectation. And I feel like there's going to be opportunities to really enhance the coaching services, maybe building community, getting on bigger stages, charging more for my services. We're not looking to work harder, we're looking to work smarter. So if I could get paid well for 2 or 3 gigs, I'd rather do that than do 10 gigs a month. And then I could maybe donate some of my time. I'm the director of programming for Latinas, and that is a volunteer job that I do out of the goodness and kindness of my heart. But it takes a lot of time. That's like a little part-time hustle for me that I'm not getting paid for. But if I'm working smart and I'm able to charge more for my services, then I can donate more of my time to the things that I love, and I can do these passion projects like the Latinas Front and Center on LinkedIn Live and stuff like that. That's my hope. I want to build a bigger platform, get on bigger stages, get paid more so I could work a little less and then do the all my little side hustle and projects more and maybe create even more things. I would love to do a nonprofit. I would love to create a nonprofit company if I could to get more Latina authors out there.
Amazing. So with that, there, are you doing this as a solopreneur right now, Hady, or do you have a team behind you, sales, marketing? What does that look like for your sales process?
I love that you asked this question because I'm one of those people who doesn't ask for help. And I have the talent for most of it,
Yes.
meaning the skill set, but like you can only do so much with your day. And
Yeah.
I think it comes to a point where it's like the return on investment isn't there. Like you're killing yourself and you're just not seeing the return. So one of the people that I hired was like a digital marketing assistant. And I wanted a Latina, man. I really wanted a Latina badly, and I found one. And so that was a game changer for me. She was really good, very smart, Gen Z, just super creative, and all of it came very easy to her. So she kind of elevated my digital marketing game a little bit. And then as I've been creating the book, now I'm like, I need partners. I hired a PR coach, also a Latina. I hired a project manager who's also my street team like lead. She's also Latina. So now like my team is expanding. I hired a business strategist and she's Latina. So as you
Yeah.
can see, there's like a theme here. I'm tapping into our own community because I know the skill set is there. And I feel like we should always be supporting each other as well. So it's a personal value. And it was a way to grow my team in a way that I felt was people who got me because we don't talk about this enough. But like I had very kind people that tried to help me in the beginning and coach me and mentor me that were like white men, as an example. And they were like, you should be charging this much and you should be in this stage. And I'm like, but you don't know that no one's inviting me to that stage and no one's paying me that much money. I could barely get them to pay me what I'm asking them for. My reality is different. Our reality is different. And so we have to, for me, I have found that partnering with people that share my lived experience and understand like how things happen and for women, Latinas and women of color, like sometimes our experience is different. I like that the people that I partner with, they have the same experience. So I feel like we can like not only a connection, something that brings us together, but like we can account for it as we build our solution. So it's, hey, we know that this is how we shop. We know that this is a value for our community. We know that this is where our community is and how to reach them. We know. So like we're talking about things that are like really important and critical for reaching the audience that I'm trying to reach.
I love that. So, what could you point to right now, then, Javi, as your biggest bottleneck that you're thinking about and solving on that side, whether it is more consistency on the lead generation or converting those leads, or the fulfillment side, being that you are still wearing a lot of the hats on your own? What are you
Yeah.
thinking about on that front?
I think it's definitely still generating leads is still the biggest opportunity for me. One of the things that I'm doing, I've discovered, like I'm a lifetime learner and I'm like, I can encontrarle la vuelta. You got to figure it out. So one of the things that I discovered is that I have a big high ticket item that a lot of corporations can afford. But then as I'm introducing some of these coaching and direct to consumer services, those high ticket items they're not as accessible. I have to make it more affordable for people. So I'm getting to the point where I have free content, which are my LinkedIn lives and other things that I offer. And then I have coaching, which is accessible. And I offer something like a power session. So it's you don't even have to sign up for long-term coaching. You could come meet with me once. And if that's enough for you, then good. You did the power session and you're done. But if you feel like you need more, then we can go down that path. And then so I have free, then I have mid-tier, and then I
Mhm.
have, okay, now you really want to go all in. You want me to talk to your ERG, you want to bring me into your company, like those higher ticket items. So I feel like that is exciting for me that now I have something to offer in all of those levels. I'm really been really busy with Substack because I'm like trying to build my like writing and like really get out there and for people to identify with my style. So I got Substack going, and that's been like a joy and also a way for people to get to know me and for me to build my brand and kind of tie everything together. So the tying everything together, that's like I have found to be one of the biggest challenges. It's like I got my website, I got my Substack, I got my LinkedIn lives, I got my LinkedIn period where like just my content creation there and just the brand that I have there. And I'm just trying to be consistent across all the platforms and just, yeah, what in one kind of may bring you somewhere else. And then when you get there, like that's consistent with something else that I've already said. So and then like the book now needs to also follow, that needs to be consistent. And so like my concern, I'm always asking people, I'm like, especially people that have read like early copies of my book, I'm like, so does my Substack sound like the book? And they're like, yeah, girl, you're good. Like it's very consistent. You could tell like a chapter in, like, yeah, this is Hady. So I'm like, okay, good. That's really important to me.
And I think that's the most important piece, as you mentioned, is having that genuine feeling of your audience and your clients knowing that it's you, right? And what you bring to the table and that quality and that just that in-person feeling that everyone's going to get having you work with them. Just incredible, Hadi, having you on the show and just your energy is so beautiful. So truly been an honor so far. So I do want to take us into the lightning round here because I don't know where the time is going, but it is zooming on us here. So with that, what is a tool or a resource that you're utilizing right now, whether it's an insight or a leadership strategy or an AI tool that's really helping you out? But what's really been a game changer for you this far?
Oh gosh, I'm going to be very basic and I'm going to say Canva because it's just been really, I actually am a very visual person. So I think I just like tools like Canva,
Yeah.
but my digital marketing person has brought it to another level for me. And I feel like I'm creating things now that I'm like, who did that? I did that. I'm really excited about it. Like my LinkedIn banner, I just changed it yesterday and it's bomb, it's fire. And I'm like, I did that. She helped me. I took it the rest of the way. And I'm just like, it's exciting it's a great tool. Everybody knows it's a great tool, but like I'm loving what I'm creating with it.
Amazing. And then last but certainly not least here, Javi, to wrap up the show, what is a piece of advice that you can offer to our listeners tuning in right now? So other founders, entrepreneurs, either just getting started in business or in the middle of it and want to have that success and drive and passion like you. What can you give them before we wrap up?
Just remain steadfast. If you truly believe in the thing that you're building and you truly believe there's a need there, just be consistent, keep showing up, ask for help when you need it, be adaptable, be flexible, keep learning, but don't give up. Remain steadfast. And I think you're gonna keep planting those seeds and you're gonna reap the fruit of your labor in the long term.
Love it. I love it. With that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Hadi, I just want to thank you again, sharing your incredible journey and your insights with us. And just as I mentioned earlier, your energy is beautiful. It's incredible. It's vibrant. And I can see clear as day why you're seeing the success that you're seeing. And you're going to see some amazing success in the future. So it truly was a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show. And I definitely want to have you back in the future to get some good updates. So looking forward to that book coming out and seeing how far you can go. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also check out Boldly Speaking at boldlyspeakingllc.com for their free workshops and ERG resources. And follow Hady on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Hady Mendez. For more resources and insights, you can visit us at closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class marketing systems. Until then, keep climbing, and we'll see you in the next one.